There's no better way to celebrate 2015 than making sure your financial house is in order. And Bryan Beatty, a certified financial planner and a partner at Eagerberger Weiner LLC, is here to kick off this year in style and make sure that our finances are right as we ring in the new year. Welcome back. Happy New Year.
Good to see you.
How do we start?
Well, one of the first things I would recommend you do is take advantage of the increased contribution limits. A few years ago, they put in indexing for inflation, so as enough inflation occurs, the amounts of the contributions can go up. And last year, they were raised from $17,500 to $18,000.
I don't even know what that means. $17,500.
Amount of money you can put in your retirement plan.
Okay.
401k, 403b, TSA.
Okay.
So now you can put $18,000 in. If you're over 50, you get a catch-up of now $6,000 for a total of $24,000.
So you can bump all those things up.
You can increase your savings for retirement. And in fact, one other feature that's kind of caught on in retirement plans is that there's an automatic escalator. So if you can't put the maximum in, but you'd like to put more in each time you get a raise, each year you can have your contribution automatically bumped by 1% until you reach the max.
Is that something we should do with our employer or do it through our financial folks?
Well,
and then
if it's one and the same, you can talk to your financial advisor, or your financial advisor can help you out. But normally you have to contact your HR department or log on to your retirement plan website.
What about insurance? It's always good to make sure we have our insurance in check.
Sure.
Something we should do throughout the year or just at the beginning of the year?
Well, what I would recommend every couple of years is that you take a look at your insurance programs, because the value of your house is going up, the value of your personal items might be going up, your income might be rising, but your insurance levels are staying static. So if you're not actually going back to analyze that, you might be underinsured.
Okay, and that counts for everything. You're saying
property and casualty, life insurance, disability, health insurance.
Okay. Yeah. Now, what about rebalancing our portfolio? It's something else we should look at the beginning of the year.
So let's take the last 5 years, for example. The United States stock market has gone up more than any other global stock market. And so it's quite conceivable that your portfolio, because of the dominance of stocks versus bonds, the United States versus international stocks, it's quite conceivable that your portfolio doesn't look anything like it looked 5 years ago. Okay. So it's a good idea that every year you would rebalance the portfolio back into the original allocation, unless, of course, your risk profile has changed, and then you would actually adjust it based on your risk profile.
And a risk profile means how willing you are to put money in and possibly lose it?
How likely you are to freak out if the market falls, or how aggressive you might be in your desire for returns. And everybody's different. And I can tell you that your confidence is way up after the market rises a lot.
Right.
So some people want
to... It's like gambling.
Well, yeah, you're doubling down, right? People are willing to take too much risk after becoming overly confident, so you have to be very careful to fight that.
Okay. Roth IRAs, do you still like them?
I do like Roth IRAs. In fact, if you're a married couple filing jointly and you make under $183,000 a year, you can actually contribute to a Roth IRA in total, which would allow contributions up to $5,500 with a $1,000 catch-up if you're over 50. It phases out after that, but there is another way to get into the Roth IRA if you make over 183 as a joint couple or over 115 as an individual. We call it the backdoor Roth IRA. You make an after-tax contribution, so you don't deduct it, to a regular IRA and convert it where there is no income restriction. So we talk to our clients about that all the time.
As all these numbers are changing and you can put more in here and you can sort of get ahead of things, before you retire, how do we know where those numbers are? How do we know when those numbers are changing?
Well, that's a very good question. Well, if you have a financial advisor, obviously they're going to hopefully keep you abreast of those changes. You can go to the IRS website. It's not always the most user-friendly website. Yeah. Be careful where you Google, where you go for information to make sure that it is correct. You can also get this stuff off the Department of Labor website. There's a variety of places where you can get it, but I would recommend actually hiring a financial advisor, someone you trust, who would actually act as a fiduciary. So the type of relationship you have is very important, and get a financial plan done.
Great. Okay, so in our last couple of minutes here, or our last minute, what about keeping everything in one online place? What do you recommend?
Well, what we recommend to our clients, and we just wrote about this in our newsletter, is that you consider a password program manager, either on your phone or on your iPad or on your desktop, that actually locks down all your passcodes, and stop using one passcode everywhere.
And that includes 1, 2, 3, 4 and the word password.
Well, I think this year the worst passcode was actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
And I even saw monkey come up as one of the worst passcodes. But you don't want to be easily hacked. And worse yet, if you are hacked, you don't want one password for every place you go. Right. So what I recommend you do is you have one strong password for your password program, with which you will lock down all your different passcodes for all the places you go. You can't get away from the digital world.
Thank you very much, Bryan. Thank you. Change your passwords and reallocate. Thanks so much. More Let's Talk Live's coming up. Stick with us right here.